大家好，欢迎收看今天的
好想讲英文。
我是 Noah。
And I'm Connie.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back too.
I was here.
I'm always here. Have you done this with them?
I did one with Daddy before. Don't be jealous. 今天呢，又来到我们的英文的抉择的单元了。然后就是跟之前一样，我们准备了很多组的英文单字。好，那我们先从第一组开始，就是海洋。
So we're going to talk about the difference between the ocean and the sea today.
那如果说我喜欢看海的话，英文要怎么讲？
You could say I like to look at the sea, or I like to gaze out into the ocean.
没有差别吗？
就口语上都一样, but the only difference is geography. So it's basically just where the ocean is partially enclosed by land, and that's the sea, like the Red Sea, the Mediterranean Sea. Like the Dead Sea, even though it's called a sea, it's completely enclosed by land, right? It has no outlet into the actual ocean. So actually it's a lake. It's not really a sea. It's a very salty lake.
我这边有看到几个片语就是
Okay.
a drop in the ocean.
It just means very insignificant because a drop of water inside the ocean is nothing, right?
那你可以做个例句吗？
For her, she's so rich that, $500 is a drop in the ocean for her.
另外一个谚语呢，就是天涯何处无芳草，何必单恋一枝花。
Don't worry, there's other fish in the sea.
第二个呢，就是 boat 跟 ship。
Basically, the difference between a boat and a ship is size. A boat on a ship, but you can't fit a ship onto a boat. A ship, because if it's bigger, maybe it's going to travel farther, and so it's going to be made for deep water, and you'll have kind of a V shape. Like a boat, more likely to be flat on the bottom because you're not going to be traveling in deep water or for long distances. And because of that, a ship is going to be larger, it's going to be able to carry more, and it'll probably have a larger crew. So maybe you have a captain, maybe you have a navigator.
那 boat 就一个人就可以开的那种。
Yeah, just like a guy and his fishing pole is on his boat.
看到一个片语 in the same boat。
In the same boat means you're in the same situation. It's pretty neutrally, but sometimes it's used for more negative things, like we went through kind of a tough situation, or someone, is picking on both of us or something. So we're in the same boat, kind of have the same problem.
好，接下来我们要讲的呢是机车，不是关于一个人的个性。
So we're going to be talking about motorcycles or scooters.
And motorbike。那这三个到底有什么差异？
Well, motorcycles, it's bigger. Like its function is a little bit different. Maybe it has a more powerful engine, and so it'll go faster.
就是我们讲那个挡车然后重型机车那个
Yeah, so it has a throttle to accelerate and a clutch to do the wheelie on the back wheels and stuff like that. And I think its center of gravity will be a little higher, so you kind of have to straddle it like a horse, A scooter is more lightweight, and so I've only seen people ride scooters in Taiwan, actually. I've only seen the very lightweight, like the Gogoros or the Vespa-looking scooters with the feet platform.
有地方可以踩。
Yeah, and they don't go as fast, but they're more comfortable for driving for a longer time, right? Like for a motorcycle, oftentimes they'll have gears that you shift. And so it's harder to drive, but it gives you more control. A motorbike is the same thing as a motorcycle. It just depends where you are. Yeah, it's the same thing. So in the US, we always say motorcycle. But if you're in the UK, if you're in Australia, they'll say motorbike.
下一个呢，我们要讲的是载你一程。
You can drive someone to a place. Like, let me drive you to Costco. Let me drive you to the party. If you really want to use ride, you can. It's very polite, it's very casual, but you have to give them a ride. I will give you a ride home.
那如果我想要搭你的便车，去某个地方，我要怎么问你？
Could you give me a ride, or could you drive me somewhere?
那么现在呢，我们要讲的就是道路。
When we think about roads, we think about the route, or the main focus is about the travel between point 1 to point 2. And so if you're in a vehicle, you'll most likely be on the road home. For a street, we kind of think more about pedestrians. So a street is somewhere, maybe there's shops on both sides and there's pedestrians walking back and forth in the street.
下一个就是公车站。
In English, we have bus stations and we have bus stops, and they're very different. Bus stop is just a place that the bus will stop. So a bus will be driving on the road, and it has its route, right? And every place it stops and picks up people is a bus stop. So a bus stop maybe is very simple. Maybe it only has a sign, or maybe it has a bench, and you line up there to get on the bus. A bus station is like more about a building that becomes kind of multifunctional. So maybe buses leave from that station and come back from that station, or maybe there are restrooms there, maybe you can buy tickets there. So it's more like the central station. If you think about Taipei 火车站, that would be the bus central station.
好，这就是今天的
好想讲英文。Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope that we've solved some of your questions and you know more how to use these English words in the correct way.
那如果呢，就是有些我们今天都没有讲到的，但是你真的好想知道的你可以在下面留言，然后我们都会试着在未来的集数，然后做给你。
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, 拜拜。
Bye.